up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of LTA Global. I am CuZo Smif.
And this is Brother.
Yes, it is. And yeah, welcome back to another episode, man.
How
Yeah.
you
So
doing?
I've been doing good, and I've been wanting to ask you the same because apparently we've been needing to be safe because we can't do normal shit because we'll get shot up apparently in America.
Which which one? There's been quite a few that have been popular in the news in like the past week.
Yeah.
What's up with this week? Is it summer?
Yeah, and it's like, what are we, magicians? Like, pick a card. Nah, fuck that. Pick a killing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it's like, what's nutty about it, bro, is that it's sad that it won't stop. That's the sad reality.
So, a conversation was brought up by my girlfriend or fiance, actually.
Yeah, fiance.
sorry, fiance. The other day, we were discussing this. I've been raised around guns in a sporting hobbyist manner since I was a child. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I knew how to shoot a gun before I knew how to drive a car, all day, every day. But it wasn't anything like shooting somebody wasn't ever in the question. You know, I was never raised of like some kind of protectionism. It was always just sporting and shooting at targets or beer cans, you know?
Because I'm not going to edit the other version. I'm just going to keep it out. I mean, keep it in.
All right. And so what I was saying is that even though I've been raised completely around guns in a 100% lawful, for the most part, non-violent manner, I think that we really need to strengthen down on restrictions for him. The conversation that I was originally referencing before I got into this tangent of my background is that I've always had a problem of people like singling out AR style weapons as like some kind of boogeyman of the gun world. Like it can somehow kill better or anything like that, better than any other weapon.
Mm-hmm.
However, she had brought up to me that like the problem isn't necessarily the model of gun because anybody that knows guns knows that AR is just a platform you can make it a million jillion different kind of ways. But it's not the gun itself, it's the symbol that the gun has come to represent. And what I mean by that is that these kids that we don't know. We don't know. People that are weak, little, like, fucked up, like, suicidal maniacs. I mean, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. When somebody feels that weak and they're looking for the ultimate form of depraved power, like, if you take a life, it rarely matters the context. That's something that you have to step over a line mentally, no matter who you are, and especially if you're young and don't know what it is to take a life.
I mean,
And they think of when people make out for AR style weapons to be some kind of like ultimate killer. Like, oh my god, it always happens. It's always the ARs. It's always quick AR bought at Walmart or something like that. If you are unwell enough to think of such evils, which globally, like, especially something like a fucking elementary school is considered pretty much evil across the world, no matter the circumstance.
right.
If you have come to that point, you're going to look for what instills the most chaos and fear and is the easiest to use. What's readily available right now? What's readily available right now to somebody like a teenager? You know? Nobody, and people like talk shit about like the company that sold them the gun and stuff. nobody comes in expecting somebody like that to purchase from them. You know, it's kind of, I mean, unfortunately, it's like not only the shooting in Uvalde, but also the shooting in the grocery store as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody expects that circumstance, so nobody really prepares for it. You know, it's not. How could I put it? Like, it's not some fantasy setting where it's like, oh, we're constantly under attack, we're fighting like assassins and stuff all the time. But it's a very real circumstance of there are random blips in the system that decide to see, well, what and how much they can take out and how much chaos they can sow before they die. How we answer that, I don't know. I really don't. Um, yeah, sorry for the whole monologue on that. It's just
No, go ahead.
this has been this has been a very hard topic for me to think about for a while because I mean I love firearms and I also think that especially when firearms are available, like a lot of the times you need one for self-defense. If something like this or something similar ever happens, there is unfortunately few weapons that are as effective and as easily accessible as a gun. Um, yeah. Um, I mean, I one thing I've always said is that like guns have made killing too easy, too convenient. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like somebody goes around and kills 20 people with a knife. Not only are they going to be exhausted, but you are also going to have to personally handle that. You know, like shooting gun, you pull a trigger, go pow. Oh wow, you know they're dead. I'm not going to get graphic
Mm-hmm.
because this isn't to me. This isn't the time to get graphic. Everybody knows the shit that went on in that grocery store, in that school. Showing pictures of it, showing pictures of people and children's dead fucking bodies is fucking depraved.
And I believe he recorded it on Twitch. I believe.
Yeah, yeah. So, and people like talk shit about Twitch. Like, once again, how do you prepare for something like that? You don't. You
Yeah.
can't. That's the point. It's chaos. You can't prepare for chaos.
Kind of just
The
got.
only way you can is either by being hyper restrictive or being hyper fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do we do about that? How do you feel about all this? Because I feel like your your concept of guns is probably very different than my like kind of more country ass.
I mean, as far as like growing up, uh, I just thought it was like I don't want to say like criminals because I don't want to say that because that's not just what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have people who are more educated about guns. You have people who are like who have to make sure that they're always protected because they have a certain thing that they a certain thing that a certain life that they live, so they got to be
Right.
able to protect themselves at all times. So, um, I have nothing against it. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? I feel like everybody deserves the right to have a firearm, unless they
Mm-hmm.
did something wrong to not deserve that right. Um, that's just my take on it. As far as you know, teenagers being allowed to have them, I feel like that's a null. You feel what I'm saying? Unless it's
Mm-hmm.
some shit where it's just like you're training to become something. And if you are, you should be, licensed, like thoroughly, uh, background check, like a thorough background check. And you must go through like, you know what I'm saying, more than two, not licenses, but like you got to be certified to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need certifications for guns. I feel like, um, people keep acting like, oh yeah, they take away guns or gun rights. You know what I'm saying? Only criminals will have rights to guns. You can't fucking get a gun if you ain't certified. You know what I'm saying? If we really push certifications, we got people out here who could try to fake it, but if we, legitimize it or stay on top of shit like that, we'd be fine. And that's how I feel about a lot of these people, and that's why people can't just go for any job that they just want to, because bitch, you're not certified. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like if we actually nail this shit down to certification to hold a firearm, matter of fact, multiple certifications to hold a firearm, then we be fine. You know what I'm saying? We need a fucking certification. Matter of fact, we don't. This is the problem. America's too free.
What do you do with that? Like when you're,
Like
and
I'm not
that's a
saying
really
like
good point. What do you do with that?
because this is the thing, right? Because you know, I wouldn't say everybody because everybody don't have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? To be like, yeah, I'm free. But if we really look at it, you know what I'm saying? There's some people who are too free. You feel me out here? Um, because if you think about it, you have to be some. I don't know. Like you have to be some kind of weirdo to think that you could just go into some kind of place like a grocery store and decide to take lives. You feel what I'm saying? Like whether you believe in God or not, you don't have that right to take someone else's life. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like especially if it's not war. If it's not war, if it's not provoked, you have no right to take nobody's life. Period.
And what's so fucked up to me
Hmm.
is that like the difference, at least that we know of, the difference between sh- where um hold on. Okay, sorry about that. But the biggest difference to me and what fucking confuses me, I mean, both are obviously outside of like normal rational thinking for any stretch of the imagination for anybody.
Absolutely.
With Buffalo, it was racially motivated. There was at least like a fucking root to the chaos, like somebody that just goes in and shoots up a random school, like what that you didn't even go to, a school of like small children. Not even like, oh, I went to high school and I was mad, so I shot up my high school. Like again, that at least has a root to it.
Yeah.
It has a point that goes, okay, while nobody should ever think like that, you can at least see how it came to be. But just shooting up a school of kids.
That shit hard to take in. I'm gonna tell you that because it's
And
just like
it's
these kids were like, what are they? Were like most of them like fourth, fifth grade, was it something like that? And it was just like school's about to end. They're getting ready to go to the next level. They were getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
have you
John
ever watched
Mark.
have you ever watched Channel 5 News with Andrew Callahan on YouTube?
I probably came across it before.
Okay, if anybody's listening, that's brother's recommendation of the day is Channel 5 News. It is fantastic. Some of the best journalism. They cover some wacky shit too, but they have gotten in the trenches. They have been doing interviews, just asking random people during the George Floyd riots in Minnesota. Like shit's on fire, and they're just walking up like, so what are you doing? Like, what are you here for? Like, pretty much
Oh, so they with the shits. You know,
they're
like,
deep, and there's no like super journalism. A lot of it is comical. You'll see why. But regardless, they actually went to the NRA conference that happened after Buffalo and Uvalde, and they were interviewing people on both sides because, of course, there were protests and counter protests, and they interviewed people on both sides. And one guy on the NRA side, which had it's depressing that whenever I see somebody having like a since 1776 type garb on, I'm already assuming your political opinion on everything.
Yeah.
But this guy made one good point of better parenting. And I feel like that's such a scapegoat for people in the NRA to use, of like blaming families and like people in fucked up circumstances. However, I do think it holds a grain of truth. But again, like as policy wise, you can't do anything about that. You know, you can't knock on everybody's door and see if the kid's getting freaking beat or molested every day.
That's true.
You can't even do that for a neighborhood, much less the entire country.
Right. Because the only person you really expect to do that is like the grandparent or some shit.
Another YouTube channel I'd recommend is Soft White Underbelly. He has interviewed probably over 4,000 people at this point, on a lot of them on Skid Row. Mm-hmm. And there's no bullshit, just straight interviews about whoever this person's life is, what they do, no judgment, no nothing. It's a fantastic channel. Out of so many videos I watched of this guy, of these people that are on Skid Row for various addictions, like you got a couple that were fentanyl addicts. Then you had somebody that was prostitute. You have a couple.
The fuck up. How do you be a fentanyl addict, bro? I thought
Carefully.
You got from this shit.
Carefully. You can you can die very easily, but that's only because it's so potent you just kind of die. But anyways,
what's the thrill of almost dying? I want to know that. That shit.
It's addiction. I mean, anybody with any heavy addiction, especially to something like opiates, it's not fun. Like, you may start it once or twice, but once you're hooked, it's not a good time.
That's crazy to me, bro.
I've had a lot of a couple family members have some issues. One of them actually died. One of them died from it, and it's a lot of the time the same story. They start off on pills. Pills get too expensive. They go to something else, and they're fucked at that point.
I had a cousin. I think he's my cousin. I'm not sure, but that nigga blew up 2 of his houses trying to cook meth.
Yep, meth's another one. It's pretty much the opposite direction of you want it. You're wired. You're having a great time. But anyways, what I was saying is all of these people, almost every single one of them talked about having a shitty childhood, either full of physical, mental, or sexual abuse. That was something else interesting. He has a lot of interviews with pimps. Quite a few pimps, actually. And quite a few of them actively talked about what they thought as they were younger, of like, oh, I'm getting this older lady or something like that. But it was just they were kids and they got
molested.
Yeah, or raped even. But at the time, because it's just a guy thing. It's a guy thing, right? You're like, yeah, this is great. This worked out. Not realizing you're getting taken advantage of. You'll think you're not getting taken advantage of, but, when you're a kid, you'll think all sorts of dumb shit.
Shit, now that we older, we wish a teacher would. Anyway.
Yeah. Different story now. Now we're on equal ground,
Jesus. Right. But let's get into it because I mean that's a serious topic because not too long ago, Elon Musk has asked the the higher ups, the GOP. I feel like the government, the top notch people who just hide all our secrets.
Mm-hmm.
He asked them, Elon Musk. He asked them, "Can you please release the list of the Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell list? The invite list. Who is on that list? Do you have a person in mind, brother?"
On, you know, oh God, what's his name? Um, the dude that was from SNL with the face, with the punchable face. What's his name? Uh,
We talk about Pete, right? We talk about Pete.
yeah, Pete Davidson. Hate that guy. Probably him.
I mean, he's weird, but I don't know if he was on that Epstein list. It would have
Dude,
been.
we didn't think Kevin Spacey was out there freaking groping dudes, but now we know.
I mean,
Just saying.
come on, it's Kevin Spacey. We talking about? Are we talking about Adam Sandler's Kevin Spacey?
No, Kevin Spacey, like the actor that got tried for basically like
Oh,
forcing
that's
people into sex
David,
and
right?
stuff.
That's David, right?
David?
There's two Spaceys, right? Because
No.
there's the Spacey
Wait.
that does work with Adam Sandler all the time.
That is wait, am I thinking of the right guy? Yeah, Kevin Spacey. You're thinking of the mall cop guy, right? Paul Blart
No,
Mall
no,
Cop.
no, 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 not him. Not him, because the other guy, he's the shorter white guy, the shorter skinny white guy, not shorter.
Uh,
He's the other guy.
Kevin James, not
No, not
Kevin
Kevin
James.
James.
Um, David Spade, long, kind of like shoulder hair length
I
dude
tried
with the
David. I tried
mustache.
my dog David, bro. Oh, I tried David, but yeah, that's fucked up. Anyway, on the Epstein list, I have
Hmm.
a feeling that Donald Trump's on that list. I got a feeling that that man Bill Clinton on that list. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my gut feeling. Now I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I feel like that motherfucker. Them two boys right there, them two good old boys, they on the list.
What do we? I mean, okay. Here's a hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
They release the list. There's 500 people. That 500 people are 500 like either political, business, or otherwise leaders. Let's say not all of them are useless too. Let's say some of them are like super renowned, and we don't find out if they actually did anything with children. We just find out they were invited. What do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Can
I
we?
don't
Can
know.
we? Because I mean, if they do release the list, like people are going to like witch hunt whoever's on there, regardless of if they even got invited to come clean up after. You know?
And bitches know how to Photoshop, so it might not even be the real list.
Yeah,
But it's the thing.
it's
I just think it's weird that it's the higher ups that's doing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Then on top
yeah,
of that,
like
I feel like it's all the motherfuckers that be like at the what's that called? The international prayer, or like all them high ass. You know what I'm saying? Higher ups going there. Yeah.
what you only think it's people in no positions of power that like to fucking touch kids? Nah, it's in all positions, and that's once again a problem I don't know how to solve. You know, you got a system. I'm not saying that everybody in politics is a pedophile or going to these parties or something, but like even if there's one or two, if they're in positions of power, what the fuck do you do?
I know Prince
Like,
Andrew need to fucking.
I mean,
I
look
don't
at
know. They need
look
to look
at look
into
at the Queen's kid or husband or child. Which one?
son.
Prince Andrew was
Hell
it?
yeah, Andrew, little fucker.
Yeah, look at him. Like,
Yeah, old and nasty. Old and nasty.
yeah, he's somebody that was fucking with Epstein, right?
Yeah. Talk about some. Yeah, I had to cut him off. Yeah, you had to cut him off as soon as his ass got caught. That's ironic.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that the only thing that really spooked me is the fact
Mm-hmm.
that like even presidents being on that list kind of fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like stuff like that. I don't know, man. Like I don't. Mm-mm.
It's a power trip.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, it makes sense.
And
Like,
since we on that topic, right? Since we on that
mm-hmm.
topic, okay. Because me and my lady, we be talking about conspiracies and stuff like that. And one of them,
Slippery slope.
hmm one of them was this damn Pizzagate, right? This whole damn email shit with the whole Clinton, and that's the thing. So it's just like, how much deep shit are the Clintons in? That's my topic I want to talk about. How much bullshit are the Clintons in? You know what I'm saying? Like we always thought, oh yeah, Monica Lewinsky. Nah, bitch, that's just the
That was the
that's
casual
just
part.
yeah, that's just the nice shit. So I feel like we already know that this is a couple that ain't even supposed to be a couple. This shit was a publicity stunt that turned out to be forever. Okay,
I mean,
so
that's been going on for millennia, right?
all right then.
Political marriages.
Mm-hmm. So we know what time it is. Y'all don't even love each other like that. All right. So y'all got little side pieces, but y'all got tired of the little side pieces. So now y'all want young people. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that's been talked about. So this Pizzagate shit has been her deleting all these fucking emails about ordering the pizza the whole time that you've been ordering kids to fuck. All right. So that's what's been said. Okay. I know I can't just upload this shit and say that, but in our reality, that's just what's crazy is that we have even rumors like that. You feel me? In our White House. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like how much sick shit really to the point where it's just like, you know, it gets down to the point where the officers told to sit there and allow that shooter to go inside that school and shoot those little kids so we could constantly pay homage and donate to these funds and make sure that Texas get money so they can fuck us up all over again. Is that what this is about? Who knows, really? Are we just little pawns and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Us Americans. Who knows? So I feel like, you know, with this whole thing where it's a lot of predators within the government. You know what I'm saying, or the higher ups. Is just crazy to me because I just feel like it never ends. You know what I'm saying? So like, was Epstein killed because he was gonna tell some shit? Who knows? Who knows? You feel what I'm saying? It's a whole sea of shit that just need to be unraveled. I feel like, and I feel like this generation right here will be the one to crack the code open. You feel me? But is it conspiracy or is it truth?
With conspiracy theories, so one of the biggest things is the dawn of social media has made it to where even the most ridiculous conspiracies possible can get enough traction if enough people bite. You know?
Hmm.
Somebody, because everybody is their own little star universe. And if enough people happen to be like, oh yeah, sure, like, I'm browsing through my feed, that makes sense, I'm gonna digest that. When does that dilute fact?
Hmm.
Or if it's even something that you'll never find the facts out. Um, I think it all comes down to what you can prove versus what just kind of sows like discord throughout a community.
Hmm.
I think that's been one of the biggest and scariest things about how the United States has gone in the past probably like 10, 15 years is that it really feels like the dissent. I mean, people will always have dissent, and there's always people that will feel varying opinions on this. But overall, patriotism and commitment to the country, regardless of what occurs,
Hmm.
like in your circumstance, whether like the government does things for or against you, being able to like live here and be in the community that is a nation, you know, it's we have we've fallen behind a lot of our competition in that. And thankfully, one of our major competitors has a really pissed off community of people that know, but people that don't know are still all for the invasion of Ukraine. Oop. But what do we do? You know,
I don't know.
I feel like I've said that. I feel like I've said that all episode, but conspiracy theories can pollute a society. Just in my opinion, as much as any form of like conspiratorial hate towards any group. Now, now that being said, do I think that the like upper class has been fucking us over the past like 50 years in particular? Yeah, look at the wage gap. Uh, but a mutiny on board the ship when there are so many other ships that just want a piece of the pie, that want our piece of the pie, that want to be the big dog. It's like the last thing we need right now. I think that's the scariest part about the U.S. Isn't the mass shootings. It isn't the potential to, if you get sick, you're gonna be cheaper if you just die than if you get life saving surgery. But it's that, especially since the dawn of social media, it it captivates a very American sense of like stardom in every single person that uses it.
Mm.
And when enough people have enough dissenting opinions that they didn't have to previously voice before. You know, think of how many people you've seen their comments or something, and you will never meet that person in your life. Or you may pass them in a Walmart, but you never talk to them. You know, what's your opinion on abortion or something?
You're right.
I think that, like you said, that's where I think that we got too free. Is social media is too powerful for a lot of people to withstand.
Mm.
And with enough traction, you can make anything fact. As far as people are concerned, you know?
True. Um, but yeah, I mean that, and the fact that it's just like it just seemed like from every aspect, of life, that people are being killed and harmed. Atlanta can't seem to catch a break. Um, they just can't seem to catch a break.
Shit, I
I would
didn't
say.
hear about the Atlanta one. What happened there?
No, like it wasn't even just mass shooting. Like now we're losing artists, music artists. We lost a one of Young Thug's artists, Lil Keed. I want to say probably like a couple weeks ago. Um, I want to say one of another legend. What's his name? Out of Atlanta, Trouble. He another rapper. He just died. Metro Boomin, the you know the
Man,
music pioneer, bro. His mom got killed by her boyfriend, by her husband. So it's like these young guys are dying, man. These young rappers are dying. So it's like even stuff like that. So
Another perfect point is how do we deal with guns being a symbol of power over others? You know, can we?
hell no, man. They
You
soup,
know,
and
it's.
then on top of that, they soup them like they getting better every year. The guns are getting more efficient,
I mean, if people can't aim, people can't aim.
and people
But,
yeah, people can't aim either.
um, but I mean, that's a whole nother like, what do we do thing. And that's actually, it's like, what are you gonna? I mean, it's perfect rationale. It's like if I know other people are around me and they have guns and they don't like me for one reason or another, well, I'm gonna have one too.
Yeah, but we got to stop those who just feel like it's cool to just walk up into some shit and just shoot people. You know what I'm saying? Like just shoot people. Like I was telling my friend, he's a security. He loves guns. He knows all about the gun laws, everything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he was just like, I was telling him, I say, yo, there needs to be more security everywhere. Like there should never just be one security guard somewhere.
Dude,
That's not
people
realistic.
would be bitching so much about a totalitarian state if there was more security. It's like people that complain about like, oh, the cops are so slow to get to some, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, if we get more cops, then people are gonna bitch we have more cops. And that we got more cops to feed.
That's another thing, man.
It's like, I mean, especially with size, it's like how many cops can you afford of the balance of like this is too much money and there's too many assholes versus like, oh, we don't have enough cops, so you can pretty much do whatever you want as long as you get out within an hour.
That's crazy. But as far as the police, like I don't know, man. Shit, they need better background checks. They had
Yeah,
to just be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just hop back on as long as you got experience. It's just like okay, so excuse the fact that he's been complained about 16, 17 times. As long as he got experience, like fuck that, bro. You
the
just need to
law
say customer service, bitch. You ain't no customer service rep. It's the
law
police officers who's here to protect and serve and take this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like ranting tonight, but just
law
know.
enforcement is one of the largest lobbying groups in the country, and I agree. I think that for better policing, we need to not necessarily like destroy the union, but we need to have better audits on it. So people that are ethically like not in the right space, not in the right job field for how they feel, uh, don't stay in it and then become powerful and invite more people in like that. You know,
Mhm.
you don't want roaches. You got to get rid of all the roaches.
I'm telling you, man. But yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's just been a lot of crazy shit going on, and all we can do is just look forward to hope and end. Hopefully, but I don't know. Don't seem likely. But I don't know, man. How's July looking for you? 4th of July is almost here. How you feeling?
Hopeful,
Hopeful.
hopeful.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. 4th of July is my family reunion. I pray everything go well. You know, you don't really
That'll be
expect.
fun.
Yeah, you expect it to be like a regular one, but you always want to keep the mentality to stay safe, especially with shit that's going on right now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? What else I was about to say? We do care about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is coming up. You know what I'm saying? In about
Mm-hmm.
13 days. I'm gonna celebrate. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah. I mean, you got anything else to say, brother?
No, I think I've ranted about everything I can think about for the moment.
True that. Well, hey man, this has been another episode of LTA Global News. I'm CuZo Smif.
And this is Brother.
Yes, sir. Peace and love.